safercigs.co.uk, sponsors of the Haze Hour.
So there it is. Look at that. Did you see? That's automatic. I didn't have to touch anything for that to occur.
No, I'm impressed.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, and it's bang on 9 o'clock.
I mean, the biggest screens. Yeah, it's all good stuff.
Oh, the technology in here knows no bounds. We really ought to say good evening to the assembled throng, you know.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing? Are you all well? I trust you are. It's been a long time since the Haze Hour's been on air, but Statler and Waldorf here are back. And tonight, the usual formulaic crap.
It'll be a bit older.
Yes, yeah. A little bit older, a little bit wiser. In my case, a little bit bolder, and thankfully, not quite as worried. And I've had a request off me doctor.
Oh.
So I'm gonna do this, and I do apologise. It's not about e-cigs, but it could be, kind of, because I had to go. Well, I'll just show you. Right, you see that there? I know it doesn't look like much, but while we were away, it looked horrible. It looked absolutely disgustipating, in fact.
Right.
And while I was out away where we were, somebody who's a medic had a look at it and said, you need to see your doctor, it could be the big C. So I went to see the quack on the Monday when we got back. And I had an appointment with a specialist, cancer specialist, skin cancer specialist on the Wednesday. And it turned out it wasn't skin cancer. It turns out it's an obscure and rare form of eczema.
Yes, Jill was telling me all this.
Aye.
Yeah.
So I've got steroid cream.
But I mean, for you to go to the doctors,
I know.
that must have been a real. I mean, how long?
20 some years since I last saw one.
Right.
But I was really poorly.
So was this somebody at the practice you saw?
Yeah, they brought a specialist in.
Oh, right.
And the same day that happened, there was a tweet went out saying that 25% of all fatal cancers are found as an emergency. And I'm thinking, hell, I've got a specialist within 2 days. I'm going to die. Anyway, I'm not. We're here. I'm not going anywhere. It's all good. So hello, good evening and welcome. And this is the Haze Hour. It's all good. Yeah. And it's full of technology. And I've got to remember to do the titles tonight. I'm definitely going to do that. We've got all kinds of, we can see chat. And there's going to be more technology getting involved in that as I get more used to it, because tonight, for the first time, we're running a beta version of a new version of Wirecast 6, that allows us to do all kinds of clever things, including using an iPad as a camera, so you'll be able to see what actually goes on in here, and I'll show you that in a bit. But first, I suppose we ought to run the titles, ought we not?
Well, I'll go to the toilet.
That's fine. You'll love it, Keith. You'll love it. You know you will. Ladies and gentlemen, you remember how to do this, don't you?
Yes.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the
Haze
Haze
Hour.
Hour. Yes, there you go. Oh, echo, boink, stop. Shut up, David. There you go. I knew that would happen. I'm so far out of practice, I really am. So yes, we're here. We're back. It's good.
Yes, after all this time.
Tonight, we will be talking about the Clout T5. We're also going to be talking a bit about the EVIC Supreme with the Delta on top, because that's just about all I used when I was away. And I've got a lot of thoughts on that. And I'm going to fill you in on some of the stuff that's going to be coming up during the course of the next few weeks and months on vaportrails.tv. Because if you've been watching all week, and if you want it, Why not? You'll have seen we've got new shows lined up, and if you watched last night, you'd have seen Matt Gerrish with The Show With No Name, and that was absolutely fabulous. Because shortly after that, somebody reminded me about my first ever show, so I went and had a look at it. And when I looked at what Matt had, yeah, my first ever show, and when I went and had a look at it, it wasn't a patch on what Matt did last night. It was really good, but you wouldn't have seen it yet, would you?
No. So we're going to see your first show or excerpts from it.
No. As somebody pointed out, I look 5 years older. Given that it's 3.5 years ago, I look 5 years older and about 10 stone lighter, and I had more hair. That's not good.
Right.
What? Look at that. Moonlit's got a massive thunderstorm's just appeared, and it scared the 4 stars out of him. Not shocking.
So when was the first show? Because we've talked about this.
The first show, believe it or not, was on February the 6th of 2011.
Was it really?
Yes. As long ago as that.
Right.
That's a long time. A long time. Anyway, right, look, let's start where I wanted to start. Because while we were away, I was in, where did you go for holiday?
Southern Spain.
Whereabouts in southern Spain?
Torremolinos.
Torremolinos. And what about...
Had a heat wave.
Did you?
Yes.
You see many people using e-cigs?
Not a lot, no.
What did you take with you?
This, of course, and I hadn't used that up till then, so I took this with me.
Right.
And I'm no good with names. And the...
it's an ego with a CE4.
No. And I'm thinking of the other one I took. I took 3
right.
altogether.
Uh-huh.
But I believe I mentioned to you the intense heat affected the performance to some extent.
In what way?
Vapor production, taste to some extent.
What about throat hit?
Yes.
So basically,
to some extent,
everything was muted because of the intense heat and being out.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the way I put. Yeah.
That. I have to say, that's been my experience as well.
So you had that experience in Lanzarote?
I did last year.
Right.
I did last year, but this year, having worked out last year that throat hit was going to be hard to come by, in around about June of this year, I moved to a flavourless e-liquid, and that was basically nicotine, glycerine, and some ethyl maltol.
Right.
And that was mixed up to 24 milligrams, right?
Right.
This was because we were out there for 4 weeks, so I wanted to be sure I was going to get this right and not go climbing up the walls.
So had you used a flavourless one before?
I had, yes. Ages ago.
I can't say I've experienced that.
Have you not?
No.
Ooh,
no, not a flavourless one.
We'll have to sort that out. Have a blast on that, because that's what I was using. And that's an EVIC Supreme with a Delta tank on top, running about 17.5 to 18 watts.
Bloody hell.
Oh, it gives it some, like.
So what's this got in it?
That's that flavourless juice. It's 24 milligram nic in pure glycerin. The nic comes in PG, so it's probably running at 70-30, 80-20, something like that. And it's got 5% ethyl maltol in it.
It's impressive, that, and I wouldn't have said it was flavourless.
No,
it's got a nice flavour.
Well, I was carrying around the what do you call those little condom things with a hole in the end? The kind of Catholics like, or the kind of Pope likes anyway. Condoms with a hole in the end. For to put over the mouthpiece.
All right. Yes.
So that people don't get, galloping lurgy. Because I did warn everybody I'd had AIDS once, but I was cured. It's not true. And everybody that tried it, and Lord love us, there was lots of people tried it while we were, all said the same thing. They said, it tastes just like a fag. And I'm thinking it tastes now like a fag.
No, it's got a sort of round, fruity almost flavour.
Fruity?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm impressed.
I think so.
For the avoidance of doubt, it's pure glycerin from Boots, as it happens. I think it's I don't know, couple of quid a bottle from Boots. It's where is it? It's the Inawera VG Biobaza 32 milligram, which I'd cut to 24 with the glycerin. And this is the glycerin base, so that's, you know, it's all good. And there's only the ethyl maltol's got the PG in it, and there's about 5% ethyl maltol, 7.5% if you want it really kind of sweet. And yeah, it's absolutely fabulous.
I wasn't expecting anything like that. I was expecting something that was probably a bit bland, but there's nothing bland about that.
Far from it. And the thing about it is, I went loaded for bear, you know.
For what?
I went loaded for bear. I took all the really high. I took nothing that wouldn't do at least 20 watts, and I tried to take as much as would do 30 as was possible, including the Hannah clone affair. Right. And the Hannah clone didn't get used at all, and I'll tell you for why. You might be able to say for why if I put it up on closey uppy cam. What colour is that?
It's black.
Black. Black as your father's hat. And when the sun shines on black, it heats up at a hell of a rate of knots. So I kept on getting too hot, too hot. Same with your iPad. Same with your iPhone. If it's out in the sun in Lanzarote, I mean, we were at 40 degrees centigrade, you know.
Oh, we weren't as high as that.
That's like Fahrenheit plus.
It was into the low 30s, but not.
Well, we hit 40 a few days, and it was with a stainless steel, because that was the EVIC Supreme I took, with the stainless steel EVIC Supreme, with the version 2.1 software on it. It was just fabulous. I managed to, on some days I was running at 20, but most of the time around about 18 watts.
So did you use that mix?
All the time, yes.
All the time?
Aye.
Yeah.
And it done half work, nice.
So is that commercially produced as well? I mean, right, you made your own.
I did.
So is it produced for the market as well?
Well, I've got to be honest, it is. I have cloned Eco Pure Rich. Because e-cigs Eco Pure Rich is exactly that, basically. Right. It's your nicotine in glycerine with 5% ethyl maltol. So that's my own clone of that, if you like. And it works. Dave the Rayon's saying his Hannah clone died. It went into continuous firing mode. And Leanna Lawless has said black absorbs heat. It does. It's the bit I don't understand, why you see so many people walking about with the black clothes on in summer, but it radiates more as well. Yes, 40 degrees centigrade, Xavier Frost. He says, Jesus, talk about a hot day. I'm telling you, it wasn't cold. And that was with a cooling breeze blowing by. It was 40. Had there been no breeze, I was showing 50 degrees at times. Same as it was in Morocco, as Max Drums just pointed out. Yes, Leanna Lawless says she doesn't have anything that goes over 15 watts. Here's a hint for you, Lee. Buy something. Buy something that goes over 15 watts. You probably won't use it very often. But in a situation like that, let's try and explain why this worked for me. And I'm going to go to closey uppy cam for this. We might as well do it this way around. And let's have a look at it. I mean, Marco did the EVIC Supreme review before I went away. That was what prompted me to buy it. Blame Mark Green, because it was him. But actually, it's going to be easier if there should be a white box here. It's got some C3s in it. Where are they? There it is. Oops, right. C3 atomizer heads. And this is why it's working for me. There's a clue in the name, because it's called a C3, and a C3 has 3 coils in it. Let's try and get where we're going with this. Now, this is the first thing I'm going to point out. Joytech, please please, please, when you make these things, can you not stick the plastic on this bit? Because without fingernails or a pair of skizzers or something,
Yes.
I can't get into them. And I'm here to tell you, wrong camera, I've snapped a nail. That's awful. My nail snapped and I'd gotten so nice. It's just not fucking cry. Yes, sensible Dawn. Right, so let's now this is going to be good. This you'll not be able to say much in there. So this is where I'm giving all the technology away tonight. Right? Well, I'm not going to give that much away. I'm going to do this off cam because I've got to. Otherwise, it just looks wrong. Because I need to go into mega closey uppy mode on this, and it's not easy to do. It won't focus because the camera's quite slow. People will be saying, "Well, how's that?" You'll see in a minute, because I'll show you. Right. So I should now be able to get right close up and in. Now then, can you see that all right, Keith?
Oh yes.
Inside there, you will see that there are 3 coils. You can just see the bottom one. There's 3 crosses, 3 coils in there, right? And you can see how the C3 all comes together. And if you look at the outside of it, you'll see that there's a number of little holes to let the juice through. Now, I'm here to tell you that this thing is wicking that juice that I made, which is, I'm going to say 90% VG. That's getting in there. Now, can you just imagine running 3 coils at 4.2 volts? Because that, effectively, when you are running this thing at full chat, is what you're doing. You're getting 3 coils worth through. And because each coil has its own feed coming off all of that stuff that's kicking around it, it works out quite nicely. That looks bloody huge on here.
It does, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
It looks absolutely huge, but you can see there's quite a reservoir in there. And that's basically like having 3 cartomizers on the go, is what it is. 3 coils in there. I challenge anybody to try and recoil one of them. It's not going to be easy. And that runs at 1.4 ohms. Now, I shall put that back into its little box. So, sitting it on top of an EVIC, what I'm going to do, I've got the version 1 software on this one, right? If we can, oh Lord, I think I might be a bit close up. Yeah, I definitely am. All right. So let's do what you can do and try and take this thing all the way up to as high as it'll go. Now it should, if I get this right and just whip it, it'll count itself up. You may have heard elsewhere that it doesn't, but it does. And it'll just keep on going until it stops. Alright, so we are hurtling up towards the 24 point some that it'll get to. You should all be able to see that, I think. 25.7. That's as high as it will go. Right? That's as high as it'll go. So let's come back, and this is at full bifter. 3 coils, right?
God.
So each coil is getting around about, what is it, 7 watts or so? More, 8 watts. 3 to 23, 6, 3 to 24, isn't it?
Yes.
So each coil is getting 8 watts. That's the equivalent of each coil having 3.7 volts through it.
Blimey. Bloody hell.
Now you try that, Keith. Tell me what you think. Don't be scared by the numbers. Do not be scared by the numbers. Have a look and see what you reckon to that. Isn't that lovely?
God, it's overwhelming, that.
Isn't it though?
Yes.
So that, effectively, essentially, that's more or less all I was using while I was away.
God.
And it was really nice. As the night cooled down, you just turn the ring.
I mean,
drop it
really,
down a bit.
that's effortless production as well, isn't it? I mean, yeah.
Doesn't come a lot easier than that, does it?
No.
No. It's all good, in fact.
So, I can imagine that operating.
It did. It served me extremely well for the whole of the holiday. And the number of people that tried it. This was the bit I was going to try and get to. Last year when we went over there, into Lanzarote, into Puerto del Carmen, there are lots and lots and lots of Chinese shops. Shops run by Chinese people that are using a lot of stuff that's come out of China. Just lots of them, all over the place. And they all had, at that point in time, e-cigs in, but they were all lookalikes, they were all daft money, and they were all, what's the word I'm looking for? There is a technical term for, oh yes, shite. That's the term I'm looking for. That's what they were. This year when we went across, everywhere had Ego and CE4 combinations. There was places across there selling juice, decent juice as well.
So you're talking about a lot of outlets in a concentrated area.
I would say that in Puerto del Carmen there were 15 shops where you could go and buy e-cigs and juice.
And is that a very big place in terms of...
Nah. Half the size of Sunderland.
It's incredible, that.
Twice the size of Hetton.
Right.
Just a bit bigger than a Yorkshire village. It was fabulous. And I saw e-cigs in the wild everywhere. Mind you, I will freely admit that at one of the restaurants that we went to, I had my work cut out stopping one of the owners from running away with that. Kept on coming across and offering me money for it and all kinds of things.
Really?
He was really impressed by it. He liked it. He liked it. He wanted a big one. Well, I've been saying that for years. I've wanted a big one for you. I better go at the adverts, hadn't I, really?
So was he a Spanish guy? Was he?
It was a Chinese guy running a restaurant, speaking native Spanish speaker, but of Chinese extraction, running a Chinese restaurant, which was superb, by the way. Look, I tell you what, we'll go at the adverts.
Right.
When we come back, we'll talk about the Clout T5 because there's been some up and downs with that, and it's all good. But it's great to be back, isn't it?
It is.
It's absolutely fabulous. And I did see in chat somebody has mentioned the Sony VTC batteries, and I'm going to be talking about them as well. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes. If I may make a request, please don't go anywhere. We so like your company. See you shortly.
Safersix.co.uk, sponsors of the Haze Hour.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Award-winning service and products from cloud9vaping.co.uk.
iVapor and iVapor Elixir, based in Yorkshire, for your e-cig needs. That's ivapor.co.uk and ivapor-elixir.co.uk. iVapor and ivapor-elixir.co.uk, proud sponsors of vaportrails.tv.
Safersix.co.uk, sponsors of the Haze Hour.
And we're back in the room. Oh, I've done it again. I hope that echo doesn't come through. but I bet it does.
Oh, it's impressive.
Well, it's
Hearing it twice.
it's automagic, and I'm hoping I'm hoping Telestream's going to sort out so that when it comes back, it just cancels the audio.
Right.
But once we've heard the adverts a few times, it'll be fine. I'll not need to. I'm just not used to the way it's going. Yeah, you were saying about that juice, that flavourless
Yes.
juice with ethyl malt all in.
Yes.
Tell everybody what you
Well,
said.
I expected it to be bland, tasteless, but it wasn't.
It's not, is it?
As I say, it had a really full flavour, I thought.
There you are. You've heard it from Keith. And I did see somebody in chat saying that the EVIC Supreme had to pass the cat test with the Delta in. That may yet happen. And keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes peeled. You never just know your luck. I'm sure she'll chime in and tell you. Right, shall we move on to the Clout T5?
Yes.
Let's move on to the Clout T5.
Looks a bit like a bomb.
Well, I need to zoom
Or an
out a bit.
incendiary
Hang on a minute,
device.
hang on. Just before we go there, because people will have absolutely no idea what I'm on about. I'm going to try and show you, using this as a camera, what's going on here. There, because people will have absolutely no idea what I'm on about. I'm going to try and show you, using this as a camera, what's going on here. Let's see. Is it working or not? Yes, it is. Right. This is what we can see. All right. From where I'm sitting. I'm trying to show you. It will be quiet, by the way. So there's two cameras. That there is closey uppy cam. That's closey uppy cam. And that there is Keith cam, as you can. That across there is Dave cam. And that there is what I use in order to be able to see which shot's lined up next, and you can see there's all kinds of stuff there. That's what we watch there to see what's actually going out live. It's another telly, and there's lights, big lights. That there is chat. There's Keith, look. Say hello, Keith.
Hello. And the cans and bottles?
No, we're not showing that. We're not showing that. But if I stood up a little bit, you'll see behind that red thing that everybody sees, there's all kinds of clutter and clatter and God knows what that gets hidden behind there in the bin. We'll not show that. And then the rest of it, you know how. So now you know. That's how it all works.
That gives an insight into the sort of inner workings of it all. Huh?
That's the inner workings of it all, Keith, yes. And it's it's difficult to keep on top of, quite honestly. It's not the easiest of jobs. But if I use iPad cam, which is in beta at the moment, nobody can say butt crack because I'm holding it. Yes. I think it's all working. Good. Yes, where were we? Right, Clout T5. Now, I need to zoom the camera out a little bit for this. Otherwise, nobody will be able to see anything. Here we go. I think this is the beastie. Let's go to closey uppy cam. The Clout T5. Some people call it the Coke tin. And some people say it's plastic. It's not actually plastic. It's aluminium, is this?
Oh, right.
It doesn't. It looks a bit plasticky to start with, but I think that's more to do with where the screen is. Run through it very, very quickly. We've got in the 510 connector, you've got an adjustable. I'll try and do this. You've got an adjustable centre pole, which is basically a brass screw. All right.
Yes.
Dead easy. The interesting part, and I'll get the correct tool out of the Clout T5 box, because it comes.
Never heard of Clout.
There's a new one on me as well. I'll pull these two bits out as well because I shall need them shortly. You get an extendable charging lead, but that's plugged in on the other side, and you've got spares in here. There's little spare screws and God knows what in there. That's what you call an unboxing Dave style. It's out the box now. That's fine. When you get it, it comes without a battery, as they say. That's the phrasing. So you get this little screw defibrillator with it. And this is where the Sony VTC 4s will come into play a little bit, because I can't remember which battery I've got in here. It charges via a USB, as you can see there, probably. Little USB.
Oh, yeah.
which is in completely the bloody wrong place, right? It should be on the side. It's no damn good on the bottom, because I would think a lot of people would use a 50 watt device, which is what this is, with a Genesis style atomizer that's dual coiled, you know what I mean, for maximum kind of throughput. And of course it ain't gonna work. So what I've got in here at the minute is one of these EFES jobbies, right? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna replace the EFES jobby with a Sony VTC4, of which I have a few here that I have already charged. And the reason I've got a few is because, as somebody's already mentioned in chat, right, the battery life on this is astoundingly bad. It's not by any manner of means good. So anyway, you slide the battery in, and it's, even though there's reverse battery protection, don't be stupid. It won't work that way. It has to go in that way. Now this is my first niggle, right?
Right.
Look at the size of the blood thing. It would only take another few mil and you could get a 26650 in there, 4000 milliamp hours of decent battery life. Instead, it's a piddly little 18650, and this is a Sony VTC4. So right, shove that in, and then you've got to do all this. See, I've busted me nail. It's not good, you know. Hate bursting nails. So then you've got to put the bottom back on and screw the screws in. I mean, I don't.
All a bit of a faff, that.
Well, I don't mind having a screw, Keith. You know what it's like.
Quite.
And you know, I mean, people that aren't fond of screwing are probably not going to like it. But then, you know, you're going to charge it, but you're going to have to charge it lying down. You're going to have to take your atomizer off if you're using a Jenny, or even if you're using a dripper that's got a drip well in, I suppose.
Well, at least they give you a tool.
They give you a tool, and they give you spare screws, which is just as well, because these bloke things are tiny when you get to being a certain age and balding, don't you understand? Yeah, Rachel Coffey in chat is saying she would not enjoy having to unscrew 3 little screws every time she wanted to change the bat.
I take her point.
Well, she's exactly right. I mean, you don't have to, because you can't plug the supplied USB into the USB socket at the bottom. Here's the thing though, I don't know whether you'll be able to see very well, but if I turn it sideways you can probably tell that that USB is quite recessed.
Yes.
Yeah? If I go the other way, that might... Look at that, how far I've got to turn it before you can see silver. Now, the USB plug that they provide is longer than normal in order to be able to reach that. A standard one, like one off your Kindle, doesn't reach it, won't charge it, won't connect up. You've got to use the one they provide, which is fair enough in many ways, I suppose. Right, going around the rest of it, you can see the screen, there it is. I'm going to stick an atom manipulator on it, on the basis that you can see best what it's doing, and for the avoidance of doubt, so everybody can tell, this is a TNS, which is probably my favourite in terms of Genesis style atomizers. I shall just give that a wipe so that it really reflects. Now, if you can see, it's 100% charged, all right, so it knows that, and the menuing system is dead easy. It's down or it's up. That's it. If you hold the button down, it will go up, and it speeds up the further you go. You fancy having a blast at this at 30 watts, Keith? Nah, that would be wrong. That would be very wrong. Not until I've recoiled it. I'll take it back down to about 18 watts because I know it works well at 18 watts with the way I've got it set up. Ho hum. Now, once you've got it where you want it, you can lock it off. Alright, and you lock it off by holding the 2 buttons down here, down for 5 seconds. And then what you see is, after 5 seconds, power locked. So you can press the button till the power, till you know, look at that, till the cows come home, nothing happens. Gary Dibley's just said, Kindle Dave, what is wrong with you? Lol. Hey, I didn't say I had one. My wife's got one. And I thought I'd nick her lead because it's longer. The other thing I have noticed is, as well, he said, going to Dave Cam, I can't get the bloody thing to act as a pass-through, which strikes me as being wrong on so many levels. It's USB, for God's sake, make it work as a pass-through. Anyway, on we go. So, right, close the up cam, boink, there we go. So when we fire, look at that, it says check atomizer. Do you know why? I'll tell you why. It's because I adjusted it, didn't I? So I'll get the little screwdriver and just screw this out just a tad, so you can see. Screw. Handy that. Very, very handy. Screw it back in. Now we'll check it. Aha, it is firing. Now we're ready for this. Right, so it's just at 18 watts, it's nothing fabulous. Crap in it. Do you want to go? Go on, have a blast at that.
I'm just...
Now the Morningstar has just said that it needs the update to use as a pass-through. While Keith having a bit fertile with that, I'll put Keith on cam and I'll talk over. There was, well in fact I'm going to just drop the closey up cam while he's having a suck for fear he passes out because it's a bit heavy. Is that alright? You managing alright?
I mean, more and more you think to yourself, how do you carry these things around? It gets to the stage where they're no longer portable. You need a bloody handbag or...
A handbag?
Well, a case, you know what I mean?
Well, there has been a request when people found out I was going to be looking at the T5. They said, can you get Keith to see if it's top pocketable, please?
Yeah.
Is it top? No? No. You're walking with a list.
Walk with a list.
Aye. Well, it's better than walking with a limp. I think, actually, I've got to say, in the hand, it's comfortable. I do like it in the hand.
Yeah,
It is
I
comfortable.
suppose it is.
But I have been told by she who must be obeyed, and gentlemen, as you are well aware, she must be obeyed. That's not allowed to go anywhere posh. I've got to take something a bit more elegant.
I would think so.
Yes. It's a bit on the huge
It could so
side.
easily be mistaken for something else.
What have you got in mind?
Well, all sorts of things.
Well, do tell. I'm so interested. What else could it be mistaken for? Go on, tell us.
I mean, in part it looks like a small thermos flask, particularly when you...
Yes.
It looks dangerous. I mean, going to an airport with this and say...
I think actually you could possibly have difficulties at an airport. They might wonder what it was until they knew what it was.
You know, you keep wondering, where does it stop?
Well,
The markets. I mean, where does this come from? I've never heard of that.
Clout.
Is it German?
Chinese firm.
Oh.
Chinese firm that apparently make their own chips and so on and so forth and produce their own software, which is kind of where the story comes from and why I'm going to go to close up you can, because it says there, on the 16th of September, surprise, please go to www.cloutboard.com with your PC. Big surprise is waiting for you. And they called it the Boom Update. And apparently they weren't wrong. Apparently a lot of people did it and it went boom. Some were fortunate that they didn't. The idea was to be able to take it up to 75 watts, but there's been a problem. Now, this is why I'm happy that the Apple implant in the back of my head has taken so enormously well, because I couldn't get to the PC, which is behind Keith, in order to be able to do the update on the 16th. And by the time I'd got myself together and put the USB extension on so that I could do the update, I'd already seen on Twitter that it was blowing T5s up, that they were frying, chips were frying all over the place.
You know, there'll be those that would like that, but I certainly...
It's not for you, is it not?
No, definitely not.
You want something slimmer and longer and blacker?
Yes.
I'm having to be so delicate and gentle, you know.
You know, right, if you're sitting in your armchair watching the telly and you have that on the table next to you, fine. But I mean, you wouldn't be wandering about, going about your daily business with that, would you?
I've Stop it, David. Don't say what you were going to say. Oh, sod it. I've done me business with it, but I wouldn't go about me daily business with it. It's if I've taken it out, it's sat in the car,
Yes.
and I've had something a bit less obtrusive to carry about. That said, I find the form factor gorgeous. It's really, really curvy. It's really, really nice. Yes, Mike Brown's just had a giggle at the
So
irony.
what you're saying, it's tactile?
Pardon?
Tactile?
Yes, it feels nice. It's lovely in the hand. It fits my hand perfectly. And it doesn't press on my little sore spot.
Ah, right. Well, that's probably what it was made for.
Yes. Dave the Rayon said, is the trouble with all that plastic, it may be if battery is overheating you get less warning. Funnily enough, you're not wrong, because the bottom plate is aluminium with a brass insert on it, right? And the body of it is aluminium, and it does have a temperature control, and at the moment, I'll go to close up you can. I don't know whether you can see, but it's showing 38 degrees. Try and get rid of the shine, David. Come on, there you go. It's showing 38 degrees, so that's the temperature of the device itself, which is actually around about the ambient temperature in here, because I don't know about you, but I'm sweating like a fat lad in a pie shop.
I'm not hot.
Well, I'm a fat lad.
Uncomfortably hot.
Aye. Well, it'll get cooler, I'm going to get better lights. But yes, the aluminium does dissipate some heat, but you don't get the feel on the bottom if there's too much is going through. You can't feel when the battery's being stressed. I will say though that the battery life of these VTC4s is shocking. It's not good. Running at 18 watts, I have to take the battery out and put another one in because it won't charge fast enough via USB.
All right.
The question is, will I do the update? The answer is yes, I will, but I'm going to wait until they re-release it and they've sorted the and I know that he's going to downgrade his back to the original software because he said so in chat, and he said he's going to film it as well. Price on it around about 80 notes from wherever you get it from. Would I have another one? If there was a 26650 version, yes, I would. I actually quite like the way it works in its standard format. 5 clicks, live with that. I can live with the lock button. I can live with the way it works. The button is positive and it fires straight away. I'll take another talk because I think I'm entitled.
You know, you wonder how many people in chat would be wanting one of those.
Quite a few. You're right in what you say. You know, I mean, if you sat in front of the telly and you want something that's just going to let you go crazy and blow clouds, then why not?
Yeah, I mean, if you have a retro type of house, it would be almost only men standing on your table, wouldn't it?
Well, it's a conversation piece, isn't it?
Well,
But yes, for me, Clout needs to sort that out so they can get a 26650 in it. They need to sort their upgrade software. I'm really not bothered about 75 watts, and quite honestly, I've not been up there yet. I'm waiting on the day when I can meet with Andy Aybrook and he can show me really high wattage vaping that's comfortable and pleasant and how to do it right. Because I'm not an expert in that. I don't profess to be an expert in anything, because an X is a has-been and a spurt is a drip under pressure. But I want to try it and see whether I like it. But for the moment, running at 20-30 watts, I can live with. Putting the Delta on and running it at 25-30 watts, I can live with. That's fine. I don't think the 50 is something I particularly need. 75, I'm pretty sure I don't need, but I'll get there and try it and see how it goes. And we'll see how it works out. I like it for the form factor. I like it for the comfort factor. I like it for the simplicity of use. because it's straightforward to use it. I like the display, it's clear, although in common with the EVIC Supreme, in bright sunlight, it's bloody impossible to read. You just can't read it in bright sunlight.
I mean, at the risk of being sexist, I would say that's a very masculine type of device, isn't it?
Well, I would like to think I'm masculine.
I mean, you look at some of those. I mean, that to me, in terms of what it looks like, is at the extreme end, isn't it?
I suppose you could say that. Yes,
That's just my view.
Well, I mean, you know what they say? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Oh, of course it is.
They also say beauty is only skin deep. That being the case, I was born inside out.
Oh, God.
Time for the adverts. We'll be back straight after this. Goeth thee nowhere, cause there's all kinds going to happen. Don't know what yet, but there will.
Safercigs.co.uk, sponsors of the Haze Hour.
Clout T5, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and e-liquids. Proud sponsors of vaping entertainment on Vapor Trails TV.
Safercigs.co.uk, sponsors of the Haze Hour.
I love this hands-free. We're back in the room. Hello, welcome back to the Haze Hour with Keith and me. It's all good. It's all good. I just wanted to touch quickly on hardware news that's been kicking about down south in the further down Kent. I think it was the Kent Fire Brigade. Put a press release out a week or two back about battery chargers.
Oh, right.
Now,
Because we had a discussion a few months ago about battery
we
chargers,
did,
didn't
yes, we did, and I'm going to be absolutely honest. Everything here is Apple, barring the one PC that's over there. Everything here is Apple. I'm Apple through and through. I like Apple kit, and this isn't anything other than to say, if you are going to buy an Apple power supply, and these are both Apple power supplies, please, 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 buy them from Apple. That way you know the right, and they will not perform out of spec. This is a 10 watt one, and this is a 5 watt one. That comes with an iPhone, that comes with an iPad. And I'm here to tell you, because of the way electronics works, and I'm not going to go into a big long lecture about it, neither of these will cause a problem when you are using them to power the charging lead for your e-cig. But here's the thing, and this is where I got really, really thrilled on Tuesday night when Catherine Devlin was on with Mark Green on Vapor Scene, because she pointed out that the correct way of doing all of this is to make sure that every Ego style battery, in other words, every battery that you plug in via the 510 connector to charge, should have charging circuitry incorporated inside it so it knows what it's doing. That way you are going to be an awful lot safer. I just wanted to cover that one and back up what Catherine had said. Use the proper charger, and if your battery, when you plug it into charge, if it doesn't have a little light that comes on, make sure that your charging lead does, and never leave one of those unattended while it doesn't mean you've got to sit and watch it, but you need to be in the same room, and then if anything does start, you know about it. I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention again, you know, because this is the vaping anorak circus, as we've been called in Wales apparently.
So are you saying that you shouldn't charge overnight? I mean, I know that the charging process doesn't take long, but I mean, I frequently plug it in as part of the routine at night, and obviously the next morning it's charged. Is that dangerous?
I'm going to say 9,999 times out of 10,000 you're not going to have a problem. The incidence of e-cig batteries going apeshit is minuscule when you consider how many laptops have gone pop, how many feature phones, smartphones have gone pop. It's lithium ion batteries that have this ability to be damaged and go pop. I'm quite happy that using a decent power supply like the Apple ones, which I trust, and a decent charge lead, one that I know works and has an indicator light on, and using a battery that has an indicator light on and has charging circuitry in it, I'm quite happy to stick them on overnight. It's not an issue for me.
Right.
However, that's me. I think everybody, the best advice you can give anybody is if you're unsure at all, make sure you're awake and you're in the same room when it's charging. If you're not sure, that's the best way to do it. Until such time as ECITA and the ISO standards and everything else that they're working on comes out, and every battery then we know is properly protected, at that point in time you can do what you like.
Yes.
You know?
The 10,000th will burn your house down.
That's what Entropy said, and he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Either that, or it's going to come flying across the room and smack you on the arse.
Yes.
Which could be enjoyable, or not. I don't know. Depends on how you look at it. Xavier Frost says, is it safe to use a charger on a power strip? Yes, if your power strip is properly constructed. The issue with all of this is you have to buy quality. I think buying on price is a mistake. A very big mistake. You have to buy on quality. There's good quality kit, and then there's what has been characterised in the past as crap. And seriously, the difference in price is not that great. Buy good quality kit. That way, and it doesn't matter whether it's a power strip, it doesn't matter what it is. Buy good quality kit and it's going to work better and last you longer. You get better value for money. Entropy 72 has said, so long as your circuit isn't overloaded, I don't see why that would be a problem, and he's absolutely right. The thing is, you know, you wouldn't plug a Hoover into a 13 amp plug into your lights, because your lights run on a 5 amp circuit. So you wouldn't plug a Hoover that's going to draw 13 amps. Your house will burn down. Just needs a little bit of, just get good kit. Good quality kit, and as Neil Roth has said, good kit will be fairly bomb-proof. And it's worth it, honestly. It really is. It's worth paying a few bob extra to get stuff you know is not going to go bang. Yes. Dave the Rayon says he has about 40 devices on chained power strips, all individually fused. As long as your electrics are good and your fuses are good and you're not drawing more than a socket will give, you're fine. It's good. GW7KKP has said even quality kit can still fail. Yes, it can. But the incidence of failure on good quality, properly tested kit is much lower than, I'm going to say it, crap that's been imported from abroad that doesn't actually meet the standards that we have over here. And while I'm not really happy that, you know, the government gets itself involved in every last thing we do, there are certain bits and bobs where I am actually quite happy that there are some safety standards in place. You know, like the fuel lines in your car, for instance. I'm really not very happy about it squirting petrol over hot disc brakes.
No.
It's going to burn your toes. And Lord knows my feet smell enough to start with. Xavier Frosty says, I was thinking of setting my charging station on a power strip so I could just put it on without having to unplug the charger to get it done. Do it. As long as you don't draw more than your socket can deliver, you're fine. Yes, Rob Tafey says, although we did used to do that, DD, back when there weren't many power sockets. I'm sure you're old enough to remember that as a kid. Hey, I can remember dinosaurs. And Keith can remember the Pleistocene period, can't you?
Oh, yes.
Because he's, what?
Oh, definitely.
Massive, yes. Trip switches on every trailing socket. Well done, Dave the Rayon. You know, the technology is there to make you safe. There's loads of technology. There's all those little plug-in trip switches and all that kind of stuff. The technology is there to make you safe. Or as safe as you possibly can be. And seriously, it's not worth skimping a few bob to buy something cheap. Pay a little bit more and get something good. That's all I'm going to say about that. Just a little bit of a lecture.
Yeah, I remember plugging an iron into a light socket.
Yeah,
yes.
well, you used to be able to get the light sockets to put on the end. My mother did that.
Yeah.
And she couldn't understand
So
why.
did mine.
Yeah, she couldn't understand why the fuses went.
Yes.
You could brand an ox with my mother's iron. Yes, Dave the Rayon says, not the cheap or £3 extension leads from the market. Be safe. Exactly right. Go somewhere where they don't sell crap.
Shop.
No, not the pound shop. Please, no. No. I've got nothing against pound shops for things that should cost £1.
Yes.
But for something that should cost a tenner, if you're paying £1 for it, you have to wonder why. There's going to be corners cut. You have to wonder why. So there, right, that's it. Oh, hang on, Gary Dibley. He's the man.
No,
There's the man. Let me read what Gary Dibley said. Working for an electric contractor, most folks don't understand their own house electrics.
Well, he's right.
He's right. Test your plugs with a simple plug-in tester, about 14 quid. It'll highlight earth and any other problems. It's another factor to think about. We see so many with reversed live faults. Now, he's right. He's absolutely right in what he's saying. It's not worth chancing it. Buy good kit, make sure everything's tested, test everything you're using, and you'll be fine. That was a bit down, wasn't it?
Well, that's useful, cautionary.
Yes, useful and cautionary. But there's some good stuff coming up, Keith.
All right.
Oh, I'm so excited. I am so excited.
You'll have to
I
watch
just
your
can't
clock.
hide. I know I'm watching the clock. That's why I've just remembered why I'm so excited. I want to share with everybody what's coming up because I'm really excited. I'm excited for Monday night. I'll just play it in and then you'll see why. Or you can bang your heads to this. You'll love this music, Keith.
Right.
This is what's going to be coming up next week and every week thereafter. Yes, that's what's coming up next week. I can't wait for Monday. I've seen all the other news shows, but I can't wait for Monday. There's going to be a fight. It'll be handbags and all. It'll be
New
brilliant.
show.
Eh?
New show.
New shows, new presenters, new concepts, new gear, new everything. It's new. It's a new season on vaportrails.tv. Have you heard it? It's cracking. Hey, we're at time, and I want to try and keep the time tonight. Sav's just told us.
Yes, it's almost 10.
So it's time to say goodbye. Can I say thank you to everybody for joining us? It's been a great pleasure to be back on it.
It has.
I've loved every
After all
second.
these weeks.
It's been brilliant. Until we see you next time, from both Keith and myself, vape on, vape hard, and don't let the bastards grind you down. Night night, everybody.
Good night. Good
Bye.
night.
E-cigs, sponsors of the Haze Hour.